brilliant win, and not many teams stopped City from scoring. So how pleased are you with that result?
Yeah, really pleased. I think I thought we played really well today. I think we built on what we did last weekend, and we knew it was going to be a really different challenge, but a hard one. And yeah, to come here, get a clean sheet, score some goals, perfect.
Now, your first goal for Tottenham, that high press from Spurs seemed to cause City all sorts of problems today.
Yeah, I think we deserve it. The victory, first of all, a top challenge for us again. I think we won with a lot of credit. I think we deserved this result. Happy as well from the clean sheet. So it's really important for us to keep this clean sheet again. And yeah, we are all happy with this victory. It was not easy, as I said before, but we are really happy.
What was the biggest draw for you to join Tottenham?
First of all, the coach who pushed me to come here, show me the project that he has here in Tottenham, and after, of course, the club. It's such a great club. I had the opportunity to say before, I'm really glad to be in the Premier League again, to enjoy the Premier League like the last time that I have been here. I'm so happy, me and my family, and now I just want to enjoy this top club and this top atmosphere again.
It's been a great start under Thomas Frank Brennan. What's been the biggest change for you as players?
I think nothing massively. I think obviously two different coaches from last season and to the manager now that we have, but really enjoying it. I think a lot of detail goes into the set pieces, but at the same time, he gives us a lot of freedom in attacking areas as well. So yeah, it's a really good balance we got going on, and I think the way he kind of respects defending and wants us to be so hard to beat. I think the first two games we've kept 2 clean sheets, and especially against Man City, it's not easy. I've played here a lot of times and conceded a lot of goals. So yeah, it's not easy. So to come here and get a clean sheet is massive.
Well done today, guys.
Thank you. Cheers.
So there we go, the 2 goal scorers for Tottenham Hotspur, Brennan Johnson and Joao Palhinha. Look, Tim, just in Brennan's last answer there, talking about the freedom that Thomas Frank's given them in attacking positions. You've now had 2 games to pick the bones out of what you've seen under Frank stylistically and against much tougher opposition.
I think he's flexible. That's what he is. I think he doesn't mind adapting. He can go with a 3 at the back. We saw him against PSG. I thought he might adopt that today. He didn't. But he has protection in front. He knows what he possesses in the squad. He hasn't got that midfield player who's going to drop the shoulder and drive through holes. He lost Maddison to injury. He missed out on Eze, who's gone to Arsenal. Likes of Sarr and Bentancur, Palhinha, even Bergvall, they're pretty similar players, great players, very good at what they do. They've got a lot of energy, get up and down the field, but they haven't got that little bit of guile. So he plays to their strengths. So he gives a little bit of protection to the back too. And he lets them cover the ground, cover the energy. And he gives the ball in wide areas. They get the ball into the box, they load up the box, and they're clinical in their finishing. Interesting, one thing that Brendan Johnson said there was interesting. He respects defending. Now he's at a little side swipe at the previous regime. I would say, be careful what you're doing, because you lifted a trophy and you're down in the club's history because of one man, Ange Postecoglou. So I'm not saying he's being disrespectful. What I'm saying is that the way I read that is that he respects defending, perhaps someone else never in the past.
But it's been effective, hasn't it, Jolien? Because you look at the 2 games, clean sheet against Burnley, clean sheet against Manchester City, and the guy we just heard from alongside Brennan Johnson, Joao Palhinha, him and co did a great job in terms of nullifying Tijani Reinders, who was incredible at Molineux.
Yeah, they nullified his threat, his contribution throughout the game, and like Tim said, they offer a different role, a different strength. In games, they're probably the emphasis to have more possession. They probably aren't as effective because then it's dictating the rhythm of the play, but that isn't their strengths. But when they're asked to defend and spend a lot of time out of possession and concentrate on that, again, that's an underrated strength that they have.
You were getting excited, Tim, before, because there is going to be more to come from this team. It's such early days. Thomas Frank's only been there a matter of weeks working with these guys on the training ground. That there will be huge improvements last season on that league position. And after a win like that, you know where the narrative is going to be going. Well, why not? Why not, be pushing up towards those Champions League spots?
Yeah, why not? Why not do that? Yeah, they're capable of doing it, but they need consistency to be able to do that. And the best teams have that consistency. I think they need to strengthen in certain areas. They need to get some players back. I think Kulusevski gives them a different dimension. I think he has got the guile. He is someone who plays that disguised pass, who can open up defences. For me, they're going to struggle when teams sit back against them a little bit, with quality on the counter-attack. Pretty much what they did today. They sat back against City. At times, they put the press on high. They dealt with the long balls over the top. There was 2v2, and they were quite happy to deal with Haaland, Mickey van der Ven and Romero. They've been used to it. They've done it all last couple of seasons under Ange. So they were happy to do that, but at times they give them a breather. Everyone's funneled back in. So it's when the teams sit back against them, have they got that guile to open up? Because some teams want you to go wide and want you to cross the ball because they can deal with that sort of a threat. So the jury's still out, but, you know, they can't do more than what they've done at the moment. There's a feel-good factor around the place, largely because of what they've done last season, and he's taking it on. You can't not like Thomas Frank. He's a lovely guy. He obviously knows what he's doing. But the challenge is going to come when they start playing in the Champions League as well. Carabao Cup comes around, FA Cup, so can they challenge on all fronts? I would say they're probably still a little bit light in their squad to be able to do that. But if he recognises one competition where he can be stronger than the other, there's no reason why they can't win another cup.
Talk us through the Johnson goal, Jolyon, because the press from Tottenham was very impressive, wasn't it, in the early stages of the first half, and they did find space out wide, Spurs.
Yeah, the build was very patient. Similar goal to the way City conceded in the FA Cup. They take 2-3 short passes and all of a sudden we're going direct. And it's not just a long ball hopelessly, it's to get a flick on with the hope that Richarlison can beat the offside trap. And then once they do that, and defenders are running back to their own goal, it's very, very difficult to defend.
Long ball over the top just takes a lot of Man City players out of the game. John Stones tries to step up. Unfortunately, he slips, but fortunately for Richarlison, gets on the end of it, gets his head up, plays a wonderful ball. I thought Lewis should have cut that pass out. And Brennan Johnson, it's a Brennan Johnson goal. If you said to me, close your eyes and describe this goal without even looking, I could tell you he's coming in at the back post and tapping it into the net. But that's an art. He arrives at the right time. He does it on both sides, and credit to him. This is overindulgence, playing out wrong areas. Young goalkeeper Trafford just kicked that. Poor decision making. Not so much the execution, even though he should have passed it. Safe side, Palhinha finishes it. He should have given it to the left foot of Nico Gonzalez there. He didn't do it. There was a few other options, like Tottenham did, went over the top of the press. Look, here, give it to the safe side. Give it to his left foot out there, or go wide to I think it's John Stones who's on a wide area. Or the third option is to go over the top of everyone to Erling Haaland. They didn't do that and they got punished for it. In the Championship, for Burnley, you get away with that. In the Premier League, playing in the top level against a top team like Tottenham, you will get punished like he did.
And Jolyon, it was a shaky afternoon all round, wasn't it, for Manchester City's new number one, at least with number one on the back of his shirt?
Yeah, definitely. I think after that, I think any decision he made and was going to look shaky. Even before that, you look here. And some of these aren't his fault. Like, he may look composed there, but Rico Lewis doesn't help the scenario. Is there much communication? Probably not. I think there's a similar one now with Ruben Diaz. And again, this is down to Spurs' press, making the errors and forcing the errors. And again, slightly fortunate to come away with not conceding a red card and then a goal scoring opportunity due to the handball. But listen, after that, and then you give away a goal, it's a tough afternoon, especially for a goalkeeper, because no matter what he does, he's not going to play his way out of that. And these are the passes Tim said. Can it be safe side to Nico Gonzalez? For me, John Stones or Oscar Bob. I don't want my keeper to make that pass, even if it gets to Gonzalez, because the outcome is still, you're still going to take a risk to get out of the trouble, and then it leads to decisions like this. And yeah, it may look shaky. He has kind of created an uncertainty for Sarr as well, so you've got to give him a little bit of credit, but the damage is already done to him.
But there as well, Jolyon, as a centre-back, you know, as an experienced centre-back like Diaz, for example, putting yourself in this situation in front of him, have you just lost faith in him completely because of that?
No, definitely not. You haven't lost complete faith in him. You're just concerned for that scenario and that game. Listen, I'm sure he's going to do enough work to pick himself up and his confidence for next game.
The trouble here, he's made a good double save at the end of the game there. No one remembers that. All anyone's talking about, because the pressure's on him, because they've got a goalkeeper who's won everything at the football club sitting on the bench watching him play. Now, that goalkeeper's trying to help him out as well. I'm sure he is in training. But the managers said, no, you're my number one. The window's still open, so they might bring someone in. Perhaps Ederson might leave. Galatasaray, there's a lot of noise around that. He's going to be under pressure now. He's made a rod for his own back, but I don't necessarily... Jolyon's absolutely right. It's not necessarily his fault. It is the way he's being asked to play. He's being asked and he's making them decisions. When he's playing for Burnley, you can get away with him. When you're playing at the top end of the Premier League, unfortunately, you're going to get punished and it's going to get highlighted, and it's how you deal with it. Ederson's made mistakes like that before, but he dealt with it. because he was being brought into the football club. He's been brought back to the football club. He's still a young man. He's got everything ahead of him, but he needs to see how he reacts to this, because that's going to be the key to his future.
Tricky afternoon then, wasn't it, for Manchester City's defenders? Let's hear from one of them, in Ruben Dias.
Ruben, not the result you wanted today. How did Spurs make it difficult for you out there?
I mean, they're obviously a team with many individualities. We know of it. They can be obviously very dangerous. We started the game very well. Obviously, the first goal made us maybe feel like a step back when things were not pointing that way. Felt like we didn't react the best way, as in sticking to our game and obviously keep doing what we were doing before. Obviously, the second goal, it's unfortunate. It happens. It cannot happen. But then, after that, we chase. Obviously, a lot of things to get better. But yeah, just like not everything was perfect on our first game. Not everything is bad now, and we have to go back to work.
Did you feel in control of the game before they scored?
Yeah, I felt like the team was slowly getting more and more control, and we are getting closer and closer to scoring. I mean, I felt like there was a strong vibe in the game we were playing. But yeah, well, the rest I just told you.
After a good win last week, how disappointing was it not to get a first win in front of your home fans today?
Yeah, I mean, frustrating. We want to win even more at home for our fans, our first home game. But it is what it is. It's football. We look forward.
For you personally, it's been a positive week after signing a new contract, and we know Erling Haaland committed his long-term future to the club last season as well. What does that say about the future of Man City?
I mean, it says about our ambition. It says that we want to stay here. We want to win trophies, and that's the mentality of the club. Nothing has changed.
You missed a lot of football last year, and I'm just looking down and you've got an ice pack on your leg. Everything okay?
Yeah.
Thank you for talking to us. Pep, a disappointing result for your team today. What did you make of their performance?
I had the feeling it was a little bit better than the result, so we start well. We concede a goal like that could happen, but the simple things, I miss the simple things with the ball. We lost with the quality they have, that individually our simple things with the ball, we miss it, and that's why, of course, they can transition, and after, of course, score the second in the edge of the first half was difficult. We need one goal. We had the chances, and the penalty don't given from Oscar, and after the chance from Erling and Ryan, and we have chances at the end, of course, some transitions of them. So, and we didn't read much well, so it's my marking and pressing that we knew it from, because Thomas has do it and happen. We have to track and play in different way that we played. But in the final third was really good. We don't concede. We control the transitions, but yeah, the result is not good. But it's a long way, and we will learn from that.
Did you feel like you had a lot of control of the game before they scored, and then why was it so difficult to get that back?
It happened sometimes. All the time when sports happen, so they punish us always in that position. Can happen on action, but they didn't do anything. But even with that, before the goal and after the goal, it was slippery and many times, and the simple things, the passes, we didn't break and we didn't make, I would say, our build-up. They were so narrow, put the ball more outside, and from there try to make the actions. But yeah, we will read, because many teams today is a lot of pressing, high pressing. You have to read for that.
Was it a big difference facing Thomas Frank's Spurs side to the Spurs of last season?
It's the beginning of the game, so I'm not going to say now if Thomas is better than Anjo, Anjo is better than Thomas. So it's a question of the Spurs. So for me, Spurs always have been a good team, and last season was, and this season again.
Aït-Nouri had to come off injured in the first half. Is that anything serious?
I don't know. I didn't speak with the doctors yet.
There's just over a week left of this transfer window, and I know you've been asked a lot about your squad size. Obviously, the bigger it is, the more options you have, but it means having to leave players at home. So what's more important, having those options or keeping your squad happy?
The right balance. So the players don't play for a long time is not good, but you have to have enough players to play every 3-4 days in this demanding league. So we will see. We have a long week with the club. We talk with the players, agents, and we'll see.
Akanji and Gundogan were both left out of your squad completely today. Is that an example of that?
Last game was Rodri and Phil Foden.
Up next for you, Brighton. How important is it that you bounce back and get a win as you head into the international break?
Now we have 7 days, so we have recovered, analyze, and talk, and start to train. As much we maintain that rhythm that we are maintaining from already a long time, we're a moment that we will find the right balance and we do it.
Thanks, Pep.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Pep saying he had a feeling it would be better today, Karen. Just how big a drop-off was the performance from last week? Where do you feel they struggled the most?
I think he mentioned it, the simple things. The 5-yard passes, taking someone on, over-touching things. And obviously then Spurs gained confidence and Spurs picked them off in those moments. But it did feel a little bit disconnected. They're still a young group and he's trying to embed some new players in a little bit. But it's still very early and he's a top manager and I'm sure he'll get a tune out of him.
He said as well he wants to trim that squad. Jules asked there about Gundogan and Akanji. He's had to leave them in the freezer, as he's called that before. He doesn't like it. He said it's impossible for his soul when he's having to leave players out. Joe, just how imperative is it for him that they get that squad size down?
Especially players who've done such a great job for you, I'm sure managers find it, especially someone like Pep, who seems like he likes to be close to his players. He likes that personal connection. He likes to feel that. So, if football's the only game in the world where you have to sack someone on Saturday morning and rehire them again on Monday, because effectively that's what you're doing. You're saying, well, we don't need you for this job, but next week we'll need you. So it's a difficult one to manage with players. And when you've built up over many, many years. He's been here a long time, remember. He's gone for a lot with them type, particularly Gundogan. He brought him back, and now he's not playing. So I understand that, and that's a personal thing. But ultimately, we're a results business, and you need to put the players on the pitch you think are going to win you that game.
And looking for results, it's a tough run coming up. It's Brighton away next weekend. Then they've got the Manchester derby here after the international break, followed by Arsenal away, Karen. That is a daunting run they've got ahead, City, as they try once again to prove that they are genuinely back.
Yeah, but look, they've been through this before in terms of the next game's a big game, the game after. This is why they were so successful in the last season, the seasons obviously before that. But he'll get a response out of them. He's also got a new staff that you're going to have to lean on to bring the energy and get these players back up again. It didn't feel right. They were disconnected today. The individual quality wasn't there, but there's always a next game to respond. Yeah.
And I think, Jolie, and Manchester City will be hoping this is just an early season blip. You mentioned before kick-off that Pep will still see these first few games as pre-season, working things out. Yeah, definitely. But like Tim said before the game, you don't want to fall behind Liverpool. And that'll be their focus is we need to stay above Liverpool for as long as possible. And the more you do that, the more chance you have of winning the league. And as you said, Spurs isn't an easy game for Man City and Pep in any season. But after the back of last season, it may have a bigger impact.
Pass and then built on top of that, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They were outstanding. And that man in your picture there is coming to speak to us. He'd be delighted with his team. The way that they took on task. This place is like, over the last 10 years, the most difficult place to come in the Premier League. It's been very, very difficult. And he's set up his team, and they've done a job. And then right to the endings as well. It wasn't just for it was all through the game.
Hi, Thomas.
Well done, boss.
Hey, good to see you.
Thank you for coming out to join us, Thomas, and congratulations. Just tell us what makes you the most proud after that performance.
Now, I think this is one of the most difficult places to go to in the Premier League. A City side that need to bounce back from last season. You can see they came with everything. And I think before our goal, I think without them dominating us, they were more on top or on the game. But we stayed in it. We're solid, top mentality. And there will be games like this. We also early days. I know not even if we're early days. Let's say in 3 years' time we are fantastic. It's still tough in games to come here, for example. And then after the 1-0 goal, I think actually we were more or less the better side. And I'm very impressed with how we stepped up second half. And there were some big moments where we could have killed the game off.
I was going to ask about that second half as well, because you said it's early days, but have we already seen sort of a little evolution and lessons learned after what happened in the PSG game, the way you managed that second half?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things. I think this is also 10 days later, so it's not only the learning from that game, also the learning from that game, but I think especially the high pressure was consistently good second half, and they struggled to get out of that, and that I'm very happy with.
Thomas, can I say, sorry, like fantastic performance first and foremost, and a great result. It's, for you coming into Spurs, it's an unusual time to come into a club because such a difficult season in the league, but they'd won a trophy. So what did you find when you walked into the room in terms of like the confidence and the mentality of the players?
I think I found actually a very strong mentality in the players. It was a group of players that's been through a tough season, ending on a high. But I think that those tough moments had pulled them even closer together. So great mentality in many ways, and then we had to build on that.
Yeah, have you noticed more scrutiny? It's obviously it's a huge club, Tottenham, and there's all the eyes are on you now, and there's expectations. Have you noticed that's ramped up from your previous clubs?
I would say, of course, I'm aware of it, but I'm not on social media.
Yeah.
I very rarely.
Good choice.
Yeah, thank you.
Wise man.
I'm very because of what you just said there.
Yeah.
I don't think it does any good to anyone, in my opinion. Secondly, I read very, very little in the media.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't give me any good. Half of it is, I can't swear, so half of it is wrong, and half of it is just, clickbait.
Yeah.
So I doesn't read too much. And I think, how can I say, I love football, but the other bit, I don't care.
Yeah, fantastic.
Thomas, you're obviously really big on set pieces, and one thing I picked up on is how aggressive you were from their goal kicks, but also the detail from your goal kicks, which actually led to both goals. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Thank you.
Is that not true?
Yeah, I think definitely big on set piece, and I agree. On our goal kick, we tried to play out, and think that was quite successful at times. But the big thing is how we press from a goal kick, and how that's also linked to the high pressure. And as you can see, we go man-man, and that's big for us, big for me.
Thomas, you're only the second manager who's come here with two different clubs in the Premier League and one away at Man City, joining Antonio Conte against Pep Guardiola. Just how proud does that make you on a personal level, that achievement?
First and foremost, Pep is, I've said it before, I think he's an unbelievable manager. He's been a manager I've been looking up to for many, many years, studied, followed in detail. The other manager, Conte, is also a manager I've studied for many years. So it's two of the big boys. So I'm proud of that, yeah.
And can I ask you about Richarlison today? He got an assist on top of his 2 goals last week as well. Is that position now up front for Dominic Solanke to try and get back in there? And how much do you like having that competition?
I think, again, Richie, performed well today. Top assist, presence up there, work ethic, everything was very, very, very good about it. And we need 2 good strikers. We're going to play a lot of games. And of course, Richie is now starting, so we just need to keep his shirt.
And just over a week left of the transfer window.
Sorry.
Just over a week left of that window. Obviously, a lot of talk this week about a player who didn't arrive. But what would be the ideal for you before the end of that window? What do you want?
I think we, as showed today, we have a strong squad, a strong group of players that I believe a lot in. Of course, we would like to add a bit, but only if we can strengthen the squad. So yeah, we're looking to adding, hopefully succeeding. I know the club is working very hard, and I trust them.
Thomas, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Boss.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy the weekend.
Thank you.
Thomas.